brand new episode of On VJ's Playlist, and today I'm joined by singer-songwriter Shaurya Malhotra all the way from New Delhi. Hi Shaurya, how are you doing?
Hi, Vijayalakshmi. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations. First, I want to congratulate you. I recently saw that you crossed 50 episodes on this show, and thank you for creating a platform for independent musicians in India. And I'm glad to be a part of this show today.
The pleasure is all mine, Shaurya, and thank you for your wishes. I hope to keep this live and kicking for many of you to come and share your stories and share your journeys with all of us. But thank you so much, firstly, for talking to me. And my very first question that I'd like to get started is, I know that very recently that on Instagram, you've kind of changed your handle. You were Rosu Boy, and now you've become Shaurya Malhotra Music. So firstly, for those who are not aware of Rosu Boy, what's Rosu Boy, firstly? And then why did you decide to, make that shift from Rosu Boy to Shaurya Malhotra Music? Now, why have you made it very professional from something that was personal?
So first of all, I'd like to apologize for you on your behalf that you had to research on this, because it's a very stupid reason why sorry, I just have to my
Sure.
battery is low.
No problem. Take your time and plug it in.
So after the apology, I decided to change the username because very recently I saw that now that I'm supporting Dot at a Delhi show, I saw that, the whole poster looked really nice. And then I realized that what has been tagged in my name is Rosu Boy. And then there's a really serious picture of me, in the promotions. And I realized that I should do something about it. The whole reason behind Rosu Boy is that, my nickname is Rosu. And when I started the account on Instagram, I was a boy. So I think that's the only reason behind it. And I know how incredibly stupid it is, but
no, not at all. No judgments.
In fact, when I actually started my career as a singer-songwriter, I did a poll on Instagram saying that should I keep it Rosu Boy or should I keep it Shaurya Malhotra Music? And most of the people, they said that you should keep it Rosu Boy. So I did. But after looking at the Rosu Boy on that poster and realizing that I'm actually 32 now, so probably I should change it. So, I will be turning 32 very soon. So I thought, let's make it a little more professional and, with a heavy heart, I had to give up the username and just a change that's necessary.
Well, first things first, congratulations on Courtyards. I'm sure, it's been a very, very special and emotional journey when you were making that song. So firstly, for many who still haven't queued in and, haven't been able to really know about how Courtyards was made and how, what went behind making it and how has it translated for you as, a musical prospect in your discography. Would you want to quickly tell our viewers watching this interaction that where did, from what sort of an emotional space did Courtyard stem
from? So Courtyard is my third release, which I released in September of last year. The song is about, so it's actually a very happy song. It's technically a happy song, and it comes from a very nice place in my life because I have a house which is very loud. I have a house which has 2 dogs and I have a parrot, and there's always something going on. So I just wanted to pay homage to that fact, and just the fact that there's a huge support system behind me, and I'm really grateful for it. And it's about great food. My mom loves to cook, I love to cook, and it's about my dogs. It's about all the things, the smaller things, the mundane things that you really enjoy about home. So yeah, Courtyards is about that. And I had a great time making that song. I did it with Varun Rajput from Antariksh. And we shot a music video for the song, and the whole video was shot in a very small village in Nepal by Ramuna Pon, who's an incredible filmmaker. And it's the village where she grew up. So and all the actors in the music video. So the main actor is her grandfather, and the smaller actor is who's the child. I think he's also related to her in some way. And the artwork for the song was done by Siddharth Iyer, and who's who's someone who I collaborate with often.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great to see how these artists interpret my own journey in their own ways. Because I told Ramana and I told Siddharth as well that I want you to give your perspective on this song, and even though it's my story, I want you to share your aspect and your story through it. So it was a great journey for me. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Tell me about the idea of collaborating with Varun from Antriksh. He is somebody who is very cued in on a lot of, what are the requirements, what are the technicalities that go behind, making a great song. And why was he the most natural choice for you to collaborate with on Kotias?
So I've actually collaborated with Varun on all the songs that I've put out till now.
Okay.
Varun and I go back like 10 years behind ago, because Varun is married to one of my closest friends from school, and when I was part of my metal band Trigger, Varun and I used to meet a lot. And when I started this solo career as a singer songwriter, he was the
Yeah.
first person I went to, and I told him that this is a journey that I want to start on, and he has been really important in that journey. He's been helping me a lot, and I record at his house, and he mixes my songs, so, and he produces with me, and he writes on the songs as well. So just I think he's a very, very good music mind, and he understands the business well, and that's one of the reasons why and also my connection with him since a long time. That's one of the reasons why I started to collaborate with him, and he was the obvious choice in my life. A person who's very level-headed when it comes to how to go about things, and how to build a career out of music, not just put out songs.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I'd have to second that, because about 2-3 years ago, I had interviewed him when he had just about collaborated with Marty Friedman. And
Oh, yeah.
I had not come across a more composed and someone who was very aware as a musician, and somebody who not only is very articulative in his thoughts and in what he says, but he's also somebody, from what I could understand, is someone who is very well informed about music from a global perspective, and also from a very domestic perspective. But
Yeah.
taking from something that you just said, Shaurya, I believe you were a part of a metal outfit, prior to becoming a
Yeah.
singer-songwriter. So
Yeah.
firstly, tell me about how did that shift happen, and when was it? Because I've spoken to a couple of metal artists in the past, and I think the feasibility in the longer run is what somewhere forces a lot of metal musicians, or people who are a part of metal outfits, kind of recalibrate and reconsider their options when it comes to making music. Was that the cause of the switch?
Yeah, that also, and because I started my law practice in 2015. So Trigger, yeah. So Trigger, I formed Trigger with Ashwin, who's the guitarist, and in probably in 2010 or 11. And
Wow.
we had a great run. We were competing at all the college competitions, and we were winning quite a lot of them. We won at IIT Blitzkrieg in 2013, which was supposed to be a big thing at that point, and I realized that I'd made it, just because I won at IIT Delhi. I mean, future would hold something else altogether, but
Yeah.
and then we started headlining a couple of college shows as well. But 2015, I graduated out of law school, and after that, my law practice started. Ashwin is also a lawyer. Vishesh, who's also Bloodywood's drummer, he
Yeah.
is our drummer as well. So I mean, obviously, he had a different journey to go on. So
Yeah.
it's been difficult to do a lot of things with Trigger, even though it's very close to my heart and something that I really want to invest in, because I'm primarily a metal musician, and then I'm everything else. I'm like a
Yeah.
metal musician, then I'm a singer songwriter. Now I'm a lawyer. I used to say that I'm a lawyer, then a metal musician. I'm a singer songwriter, but the switch has happened from there's an interchange between singer songwriter and lawyer. I used to say that I'm a lawyer who also does music on the side. Now I say that I'm a musician who does law on the side. So I mean, that switch happened after 2015, and yeah, I mean, there's something in store for us as well, because I mean, this is something that I discussed with Ashwin and the whole band, is that we want to put out a body of work which will stay in the world forever. I think that's very important for us, because we have songs, like we have material. It's just that we haven't been able to put in the time and the focus into building that body of work. And then obviously it doesn't matter where it goes and how it goes, and it's just that we want to be proud of a body of work that we put out, a cogent, like an album or something. So yeah, probably something in the future in that. But right now I'm only focused on the singer-songwriter career and law on the side.
It's interesting
Yeah.
you say that, you somewhere had thought about this, that you want to put out music that is remembered, that, that stands out. Just basis on that logic, Shaurya, how should an independent artist, especially in the current age where, there's an abundance of, independent music that's being out there. Like, every Friday we are looking at least close to 15-20 releases. In such a competitive age where, attention spans are low, where there's a paucity of time, where, unless and until, two people are not sitting and discussing about it, or, or people who share a mutual common interest for independent music, unless and until there are recommendations that are not flying around. As an artist, when you are creating a certain melody or you are writing a certain song, how do you ensure that it at least stands out? Or, how do you ensure that it is at least different from what everybody else is doing?
I mean, when I'm writing a song, the priority is never to, stand out per se. I'm just, as artists, I think what we do is we try to create something original from everything that we've already heard in life, and that's something that I, truly believe in. And every music type and every genre, every artist has an audience. The only difficult part is reaching that audience, I think. And when you're successful in doing that, that's when you can say that, okay, this is a point where I can be, proud of the journey that I've had. Because, even though, I mean, you mentioned that, focus has, lowered a lot, and, songs are supposed to only have like 3-second intros, and, songs are only supposed to be 2 minutes or 30 seconds. I mean, sometimes I really want to write a song which is 2 minutes, 30 seconds, but sometimes I want to write a song which is 5 minutes. The first song that I wrote with Varun, it's 5.5 minutes. And it's not something which is repetitive, but it's just that something which organically comes out of me. And I'm doing this to share my experiences and my stories and write as genuinely as possible. At least the melody part, I have a really hard time writing lyrics, but at least when it comes to writing a cogent melody, or being successful at narrating my story, that's all I aim to do. And I mean, sometimes we forget the fact that, even though focus is shifting, good music also always finds a way. And, we're not only writing music for the Gen Z. I mean, there are people from our age group and older who listen to music, who listen to Pink Floyd, who listen to, all the older bands, who listen to music that we have grown up listening to. And, there's that audience as well. So it's just, it's a little hard to reach that audience. Of course,
Right.
because priorities change after college, and the college audience is the one that takes out time to listen to music properly. And I think it goes in cycles, and sometimes, and after a point, people realize that they're not very happy with shorter songs, or they'll want something like a Pink Floyd to come in the new age as well. I think music always goes in cycles. So I think that time will come as well. Metal will come back. I always, this is something that I might be a stupid optimist, but I always tell people that I think metal will come back as well. So, I mean, I hope it does, because I think it's a great form of music.
Well, you just spoke about your drummer having, switched to Bloody Wood, and
Yeah.
clearly, anyone who has been following Bloody Wood now since the last 1 year, and the kind of packed shows that they're performing to, I think that pretty much stands as a testament to what you believe as far as Indian metal is concerned.
Yeah. How it's so great to see this, because I remember like Vishesh and I've seen his struggling years as well, because we were all struggling together, and Karan and Jayant have all been in the same scene together with us. And it's very great to see that, one band took consistency, consistent efforts to do something, and it's a, you can see the results and you can see that things work out if you're smart about things and you know how to be consistent. And, it's a great study for us, for everyone who's, doubting the process, because the process generally always works. So,
but in the
I mean,
meanwhile,
again,
sorry. In the meanwhile, Shaurya, how crucial is it for an artist to keep their, mental health, their sanity, and their fleeting insecurities, all of that in check? Because just as a professional, I'm not even looking at, okay, whether I'm an artist or whether, no matter what streams we pursue, for us, we want to do what we love to do for the sake of, okay, this is our passion, this is what we have always wanted to do, and we are getting a chance or an opportunity to do it. But then there's also the numbers, there's also a solid paycheck, so many of the other factors, having considered. In between all of this, how does one maintain themselves? How does one keep themselves, in insanity, and in just keep themselves going, without having a moment where they're spiraling, or without should I say, deviating from what they are trying to do?
I mean, I can only speak from a very personal point of view. What I found is that you can't control a lot of things that are happening to you, and sometimes you just have to let that process, run its course, and you have to, let it. You have to let the sadness come to you, and it has to go through you, and that is the way that you actually realize that, that I can be better, and I can be, I can be mentally, I can be better, after this course is done, after I've gone through this really bad ordeal. Because, I go through this on probably every day, and, every independent musician who's struggling through this period, it's very hard. This industry is extremely hard. There is a lot of, there's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of insecurity. I mean, it's not an easy path to follow at all. But one thing that has worked for me is that when I wake up and I realize that probably today is going to be a shit day, I generally don't do anything, and I try to live a very mundane day, so that next day I can have a better night's sleep and wake up feeling refreshed. And it's not, one more thing is that it's not, if it's taking a toll on you, to the fact that you're not able to actually enjoy the process, or you're feeling that it's giving you a harder time than you expected it to, then it's okay to not do it. It's absolutely okay to pivot and take time for yourself, and just, I mean, this is something that should make you happier in life, or at least give you a little more gratification. And I have gone through a period in my life where I've thought, that maybe I'm not good enough at all, and this is not something for me. And these thoughts come to your head, and till the point you can tolerate, you tolerate. Otherwise, it's absolutely okay to not go through this pain if it's not worth the the gratification that you get out of it. Is probably my take. And I'm sure it's very individualistic for everyone, but that's what I found is it works for me. And like, take a day off, like take days off, take, like, out of a week, take 3 days off. It's absolutely okay. And I think it helps your creativity if you're taking out time to not do anything. Sometimes if I'm not able to play the guitar, and if I'm not, like, I'm in a rut mentally or creatively, I actively don't touch the guitar for a week, so that I yearn to play the guitar, and probably I'll enjoy the process again. So that's been my process. I don't know if it's worked or not, but till now it's fine. And that's all I can say.
Coming back to discussing music, we are here, of course, to talk about your latest single, Parts of Two. So firstly, why was this a song that you wanted to make, and what is it that you wanted to convey through Parts of Two? And what are you looking at? What are you aiming at through this?
So I wrote this song in 2 parts. I know it's ironical, but like I wrote this song. I wrote the song in 2021 first, and then like a lot of songs that I leave unfinished, I left it unfinished, and I finished the song at the end of 2022. When I started writing the song in 21, I wanted to write about just the dilemmas that we go through every day as humans, and uh, the internal conflicts that we go through as humans, and the duality of life. I know it sounds pretentious, but that's what I wanted to write at that point. But uh, when uh, when I finished the song at the end of 2022, I think it became a little more personal, and also a little disconnected from the original idea of the song. And I have no shame in admitting that sometimes I don't write the most cogent lyrics, and that's something that I've been very open. That's something that I've been very open about on social media as well. Because I feel so much, and I want to pen it down, and I always hope that it justifies and it is exactly how I wanted it to write. I wanted to write that lyric, but sometimes words always generally fail me. So I'm a better communicator with melodies. So yeah, parts of two. If the smart thing would be to say that I would leave it to the audience to decide what it means to them. So because it used to mean something very different to me when I started writing, and now I think it has a very different meaning in my own head. It's generally about the parts you leave behind, and I mean the second half of it is about the parts you leave behind when you part ways in a relationship as well. So I think it's a song which is split into two, which probably goes with the idea of parts of two as well.
I really like
So
how you actually, you pretty much self-admittedly confess that, sometimes your lyrics aren't coherent.
yeah,
And I don't think that's something you should be apologetic about, because really, a lot of mainstream rubbish that's being, imposed upon us
yeah,
every day, that's thrown into our faces by, music
yeah,
companies. They literally carry limericks in the name of lyrics. So I don't think so.
yeah,
Your
yeah,
songwriting is as incoherent as you'd like, as you're making it to be. But having
yeah.
said that, Shaurya, one thing that I feel particularly stands about in your music is your ability to be vulnerable, and your ability to be as if I may use the word, as naked as possible when it comes to expressing your emotions. We are still discussing the idea of vulnerabilities as far as, Indian men are concerned. We are still, discussing that, we'd like our men to be as expressive and, as emotive about their emotions as possible, without the fear of judgments, without the fear of ridicule. So where do you source this kind of ability from? Is there something or somebody that fuels this ability in you?
Uh, I think generally, I think I've had a very good support system in life. Even though I've like my parents got divorced when I was young, so I mean
Sorry.
my mom is take my mom has taken care of us, me and my sister, very well, and we have always had a very good support system. I think the vulnerability, I don't know where it comes from, to be frank. I think I probably wasn't like this before, uh, but with age, I've realized that there's no point of being a certain way and hiding things inside, because that was really eating me up as a
Yeah,
person, and I found it really easy to just tell people that I'm probably not great at something, and probably this is something that I'm not good at. So I mean, it's much easier to just be that way, and
absolutely.
I just did a cost analysis, and I realized that probably this is a better way of living. And maybe, I mean, obviously, I'm not truthful about everything in my life, about a lot of demons that I have, or like people have, but I mean, as true as I can be in this world, and as which makes me happy, and which makes me feel fulfilled, because the pressure and the weight of being very you know how do you call it, very guarded, is a little too much, and it's not worth it.
Well, all I can say is, the ones who actually pretty much express it themselves and say that, yeah, we all have our demons, are the ones I think who speak, who are the most truthful also, because when I look around, everyone else is like, they're living in their own, set of delusions, or, they are living in under their own set of misconceptions about themselves. But I'm happy that, I could have this conversation with you, Shaurya. But just before we conclude, uh, like I said, we are living in a day and age where there is enough scope for a lot of independent artists to flourish and, to prosper. But at leisure, when you are, unwinding after a long day and you're listening to some good independent music, on your preferred streaming platforms, who are some of your favorite artists that, you like checking out, and you're constantly looking out for them, from the scene?
From India, and I know this has been spoken about a lot from on your show. Like Kashni is an incredible songwriter. I mean,
Yeah,
she's a lovely lyricist. Her songs are really meaningful, and I love her songwriting. Rachel Singh is an absolute. She hasn't really released a lot of music till now, but
yeah,
these three songs that she has put out, I love them. I really like PCRC. And I mean, there are so many artists because I started discovering independent music in 2019 from India. I
yeah,
was a little aloof when it came to independent pop
yeah,
specific songwriters from India. Because metal,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of Undying Ink. I'm a big fan of Scribe. I'm a big fan of Zignamag, Bhayanak Mod, or Godless. But yeah, there's some really, really, great songwriters from India. And I think it's a great, the independent music industry in India has taken a great turn because the music creation process has decentralized a lot. And you
Yes.
see songwriters from different walks of life come and share the story, so which is a great thing. uh, so yeah, I mean, these are some of the artists that I can recall right now. But yeah, like Tashni's probably my favorite. Like, she's incredible. I'm a big fan of her work.
Well,
So
that
yeah.
makes the two of us. But thank you
Yeah,
so much, Shaurya, for talking to me today on VJ's playlist. And not just for parts of, I also wish you all the very best for every upcoming release of yours. And may the sky be the limit.
thank you so much, Vijayalakshmi. I had a great time, and best of luck to you. And please like, share, subscribe, whoever's watching, and the bell icon also. So yeah.
Oh, shit. That's as give me cases could have gotten. But thank you so much.